Good morning, grade 4. How are you today? We talked about the adaptations in the previous lessons. Who can tell me what are the adaptations? We said they are characteristics or changes that living organisms do to survive and reproduce, right? We said also there are two types of adaptations. What are these? Structural and behavioral adaptation. Yes. We said the structural adaptation means what? Means some change or some feature inside the body system or inside the structure of the body that helps it to survive and reproduce. It means is related to body structure. And we said also behavioral adaptation means what? Means a change or feature in the behaviors of living organisms to survive also and reproduce. Yes. We said all living organisms can make structural and behavioral adaptations. Yeah. We said humans and animals in the previous lessons can make structural adaptation and behavioral adaptation, and we take many examples about this information. Okay, today we will talk about the plants. So today we will talk about the plants. How do plants make adaptation? How do plants survive in general? How do plants stay alive? Yes, I hear you. By photosynthesis process. Excellent. So plants in general can survive or stay alive or get their own food by photosynthesis process. Yes. Okay, so today we have some examples about plants to know how do plants survive and reproduce in many or different environments. Let's start from acacia tree. Acacia tree lives in savanna forest. Can you hear me? Savanna forest looks like a desert. Let's know first what are the properties of savanna forest. Savanna locates in southern Africa, so it's called Southern African savanna. Its temperature is mild. What is the meaning of mild temperature? Not very hot and not very cold. So it's mild, between very hot and between very cold. Okay? What about the water there? Does it rainy all the year? No. It's rarely to find water. It's rainy mostly twice in the year. So it's extreme lack of water. It's rarely to find water. It's a drought environment. There are drought conditions. So not large trees can live in this environment. And we can find acacia tree and other trees. They are small in size. So acacia tree lives in this habitat. Do you think how does acacia tree survive in this environment? It's hard to live in this environment. It's very hard conditions. So how does acacia tree adapt with the savanna forest? Acacia tree has tiny leaves. So acacia tree first has tiny leaves. Let's show how these leaves are tiny. Look, it's a branch. These are its tiny leaves. Look, these are its tiny leaves. Very tiny. Do you think why? To keep water inside, to trap water inside. It lives in extreme lack of water. It lives in drought conditions in savanna, so it needs water. How does it adapt with the extreme lack of water? It has tiny leaves to trap or to keep water inside many years. Wow. It also has sharp spines. Look, it has sharp spines. These sharp spines prevent animals from eating its leaves. So how does acacia tree protect itself from animals which eat its leaves? By these sharp spines. By these sharp spines. When some animal come to eat these leaves, these sharp spines hurt these and the mouths of animals, so prevent these animals from eating its leaves. Do you think, is this a structural or behavioral adaptation? I am talking about a part in acacia tree. It's a part in its body, so it's related to, excellent, it's related to the structural adaptation, not behavioral adaptation. Excellent. Let's come back. Okay, these are the leaves of acacia tree. What about its trunk? Look at its trunk. It has a very long trunk. It has a very long trunk. Do you think why? Also to prevent animals from eating its leaves. What about giraffe? Giraffe, only animal can eat its leaves. Why? Because it has a long neck. So its only animal reaches to the leaves of acacia tree to eat. Only animal reaches to the acacia tree leaves to eat. Only giraffe, because it has a long neck. Because it has a long neck. Okay, its trunk also stores water inside. Why? Because it needs to keep the water inside from what? From the drought conditions. So its trunk keep water inside as leaves also. Okay, what about its roots? The roots of acacia tree are called tap roots. Why does it called tap root? It's look like a tap, right? They are very, very long roots under the soil. Do you think why they are very long roots under the soil? Yes, to catch or search for water everywhere under the soil. Okay, because it needs all drops of water to collect them and send them to the trunk, from the trunk to the leaves to make photosynthesis process. Excellent, grade 4. So its roots reach to 35 meters under the soil. 35 meters under the soil. Do you think why? Yes, to catch or find water and reach them to the leaves to make photosynthesis process. Yes. Okay, all of these are related to the parts of acacia trees. So we are talking about the structural adaptation of acacia tree. What about its behavioral adaptation? How do plants make behavioral adaptation? They don't have brains to think like humans and animals, but they have something look like sensory. Looks like sensory. Okay, this sensory works when some animal nears to the tree and will eat its leaves. So it produces a poison. This poison has very bad taste to prevent animals from eating its leaves again. Not only this behavior, it's also send a smelly message to the other trees by using wind. The wind sends this message to the other acacia trees to warn them from the other animals which near to this tree to eat its leaves. Wow, it's a friendly tree. Okay, the second tree, okay, is opposite to the acacia tree. How? It's kabuk tree. It's what? Kabuk tree. Kabuk tree lives in Amazon rainforest. Amazon rainforest, of course, locates in what? In Brazil. Excellent. So this forest has a different condition, has a different temperature. Let's know the temperature or what the weather like in the Amazon rainforest. It's rainy most of the year. Opposite what? Opposite Southern African savanna. Excellent. So Amazon rainforest is rainy most of the year. Also, it has a strong wind. So it's rainy most of the year and also with a strong wind. So yes, as you saw now, its roots must be strong. Its roots must be strong. So it has strong winds and it's rainy most of the year. So how does Cape Oak tree adapt with Amazon rainforest? How does Cape Oak tree adapt with Amazon rainforest? First, its leaves look like what? Its leaves look like hand-shaped leaves. Look, hand-shaped leaves. Why? Look at me. These are the leaves of Cape Oak tree by this way. The wind moves between these leaves by this way here. Why? To don't tear or to don't break these leaves by strong wind in Amazon rainforest. So its leaves look like what? Hand-shaped. Okay, what about its roots? Its roots are called buttress roots. Are called what? Buttress roots. These roots grow above the soil. Did you see any roots before grow above the soil? Yes, Cape Oak tree. Cape Oak tree, its roots grow above the soil 5 meters up. 5 meters up. Why? Because it has soggy soil. It has soggy soil. What is the meaning of soggy soil? It's full of water because it's related to what? Amazon River. It's called Amazon rainforest. It has some river there. It's called Amazon River. So this river sends many water to this soil. So its soil is soggy. Is what? Soggy. So the roots of Cape Oak tree grow above the soil 5 meters up. Why? To protect itself from too much water. Photosynthesis process needs a suitable amount of water, needs a suitable amount of sunlight, needs a suitable amount of carbon dioxide. So it doesn't need too much water. It doesn't need too much sunlight. So its soil is soggy. Its roots must what? Must grow above the soil. How do these trees make behavioral adaptation? It's a kind tree, not produces a poison, but it can also use the wind. Why? Look at its seeds and its flower. The seeds be in the center of these flowers. So it has fluffy yellow seeds. Wow, it has fluffy yellow seeds. It needs to reproduce. It needs to send these seeds to other areas. So how does it adapt or how does it reproduce? By wind. The wind carries these seeds and send them to other areas. Also bats can attracted to the Cape Oak tree flowers. How? Because this tree produces a delicious smelling. This tree produces a delicious smelling to attract what? To attract the bats. These bats fly, and the seeds fall down in other areas to grow and make a new Cape Oak tree. So again, these fluffy yellow seeds stick on the fur of bats, okay? And these bats fly, and the seeds fall down in other areas. These seeds, after raining and making photosynthesis process, can grow and make a new kabuk tree. Wow. Okay, what about the other plants? Let's first check your understanding. Are you ready? Okay, sending a smelly message for acacia tree to warn other acacia trees is considered what? Send a smelly message. Is this structural? Is this behavioral? Both structure and behavioral. Neither structure nor behavior. Yes, think with me. Yes, it has a sensory that's responsible for this process by only behavioral. Excellent, grateful. It's only behavioral adaptation. Okay, a structural adaptation of kabuk tree is that what? It has delicious smelling flowers, it has buttress roots, it has sharp spines around its leaves, it has a long taproot. I said structural structural adaptation of kabuk tree. So I need structural of kabuk tree. Which choice here is related to kabuk tree? Yes, buttress roots. Long taproot? No. Delicious smelling? Yeah. Sharp spines? No. So we have two choices to think. But I said here structural adaptation. Which of them is structural? Delicious smelling is related to behavioral adaptation. Excellent. While I said structural, I have to choose, yes, buttress roots. Excellent, grateful. We have other plants can adapt with their environments by special ways. Let's show what are these ways, or what are the structural adaptation they have to adapt with their environments. For example, first one here is mangrove tree. Mangrove tree. Its habitat is salt water, so we can find mangrove tree on beaches, right? In seas and oceans. So it has long and strong roots. Do you think why? It must has a strong and long root to resist the water waves. What about the water lily? Do you love water lily? Look at the shape of water lily. This is the shape of water lily. If you want to catch more sunlight, you have to get a large size of leaf. So it has a large size, so it catch more sunlight. So it make photosynthesis process easily because it has a large size of chloroplasts, right? So the water lily has a large size or wide floating leaves to catch more sunlight and make photosynthesis process easily. Okay, what about the snow? There is any plant can live in snow? Yes, you know it, the Christmas tree. Excellent. It's in science, it's called a pine tree. It's called what? Pine tree. Pine tree lives in snow. I mean, it grows in winter, right? So how does it adapt with extreme coldness in the snow areas? First, it has a triangular shape. Look, by this way. It has a triangular shape. You know it. Yeah, it's a Christmas tree or pine tree. Okay, When the snow falls down by this way, it slides on the triangular shape by this way. So the leaves of pine tree will not break down. Okay, so give reason pine tree has a triangular shape to allow the snow slide easily over it so its branches don't break. Okay, what about its leaves? It has needle leaves. I didn't say tiny leaves. No, I said needle. What is the meaning of needle, or what is the difference between needle and tiny? Needle means this leaf, while tiny means this leaf. It's tiny and this is needle. Okay, so pine tree has needle leaves. Has what? Needle leaves. Why? To prevent the loss of water. It needs water because the water there in a solid state, in an ice state. Okay, so it needs a needle leaves to prevent or keep water inside. What about palm tree? All of us know the palm tree. We can see palm tree everywhere in Egypt, right? So it lives in desert. It has thick roots and small leaves. Why? To resist now the strong winds in desert. Okay, what about the Barbary fig? Also this plant lives in desert, but it has sharp spines. Do you love its fruit? Yes, all of us love this fruit. So it has sharp spines and tough outer cover. Why? To prevent animals from eating its leaves. As what? Excellent, as acacia trees. Okay, so now check your understanding with me. We talked today about acacia tree, kabok tree, mangrove tree, water lily, pine tree, palm tree, and Barbary fig. All of these plants can adapt with their environments by different ways. They can use structural and behavioral adaptations. Okay, answer with me. Palm tree has short roots and big leaves? No, of course no. Palm tree has what? Palm tree has long roots to catch water under the soil, and also it has tiny leaves to keep water inside and prevent the loss of water. Okay, water lily plant lives in salt water? No, water lily lives in fresh water, while mangrove tree lives in salt water. It will be wrong. Mangrove tree has long and strong roots to help the plant to resist the water waves. Yes, to resist the water waves. This is our lesson today. Let's complete the adaptations in the next lessons. Goodbye.